Let me go ahead and get this in performance mode. Excellent. What up, stream? We will be doing the podcast shortly. I'm waiting for my co-host to log on, but we are hanging out in the meantime. I got my agenda pulled up, so if you're interested in any of that, we'll go ahead and get that going. So that's part of the plan for today. I'm also making sure that the audio sounds fine on the pod itself. So let me check that real quick. Log on, but we are hanging out in the meantime. All right, so sounds good. I'm gonna go ahead and get the stream manager pulled up in a minute, but we will get going in a minute. Let me put that over here because I don't know what they were looking at, but yeah, excellent. So yeah, we will get the stream going shortly. Like I said, this is the agenda. I do got some stuff to talk about. And it should be a good time. Also thinking about potentially posting this up on YouTube after the fact. Now, I know there's a way to stream directly to YouTube from, whatchamacallit? From Streamlabs. So I don't have to do all that. But maybe next week we'll look into that. But yeah, we're just hanging out in the meantime. I'm going to go ahead and get started shortly. Let me go ahead and get the stream manager pulled up. But yeah, we will be doing the podcast right now, and I do plan on streaming a little bit after the show, maybe about an hour or two after the show finishes. My kid was with my mom, so I got some free time. My wife is working on her hair, so it should be good. But yeah, let me go ahead and get YouTube pulled up or something, and then we'll hang out in the meantime. What do you guys think? But I almost forgot to record it. Yep. But yeah, we are hanging out right now. We're just waiting for my co-host to log on. I don't know if Greg's going to be on today. Gabe hadn't said anything. But usually Greg's the first person to hop on. So we got that. But yeah. How you guys feeling today? Like I said, this is the agenda that I got. Nothing too long or too crazy, but I wanted to do a show. It's been a minute, a couple weeks, I think 2 weeks since we did a show, and I wanted to get it done. So we're gonna check that out. Now, with that being said, the band 100th said it was okay. The 100th. What am I doing? Said it was okay to play. Because I don't know how to spell. It was okay to play their music on stream, so I will do that. I will post up their info too. Hopefully, this doesn't blow out my eardrums like it just did right there. So we're gonna hang out in the meantime, and I also wanted to see how it sounded for you guys over here. So give me 1 second for that. 1 second for that. Yeah, I just wanted to see how it sounded for you guys. Let me check that again. Just wanted to see how it sounded with you guys. So yeah, like I said, Hunter said it was okay. So I'm gonna use their stuff, and hopefully I don't get struck down because of it. Well, we're gonna jam them some 100th real quick. In the meantime, how you guys doing today? I know you guys can see the Streamlabs stuff. I'm sorry, but just waiting for the calls to get started today. Very cool. I got Craigbot queued up already, right? I do. Cool. See, like, this version of 100th, this was the gap in between, Free and the other album that they did after the fact, or what they're doing now, rather. And, this wasn't too bad. Then they went, like, full bore, symphonic, or I don't know how to explain it. Shoegaze, I guess, is what the kids call it. So, yeah, I don't mind this too much. This is okay. But I don't know the rules out there for streaming stuff when it comes to playing music. I know it's probably frowned upon. But you guys can let me know that, I guess. Give me 1 second. So yeah, you guys let me know what the situation with that is. But what else do you guys want to listen to in the meantime? They got like a live performance here from Live from the Rock Room. I haven't seen this before. So yeah, you guys let me know. Like the musicianship here is like it's there, you know. It's just I don't know. I'm sad because they used to be like one of my favorite hardcore bands, right? But they decided to go a different route. That's their prerogative. It is their project. They can do whatever they want. I'm just sad because I miss what 100th used to be. That's just me, I guess. Yeah, it's kind of in the 80s too. Let's see what else they got. I don't know how to spell apparently. 100th. Live. We'll put that on. I'm going to tune this down just a little bit so it's not blowing you guys' eardrums out. Yep. Make sure I'm good. I am. Bam. Oh, yeah. Like, this shit was just so good, man. Like, but yeah, Hunter said that it was okay to play their stuff on stream. I don't know about the music videos. I probably should have looked up that rule. But this is what they said. Suffocating. I got my water, guys. How you guys doing today, man? Hope all is well. But yeah, man, I'm ready to get this podcast started. Just wait for my co-host to sign on, and then we'll go ahead and get this started. But in the meanwhile, Like I said, I don't know the rules when it comes to Twitch and playing music. Hundred said it was okay to play their music, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. But yeah, I don't know the rules. Hopefully the video isn't a problem. I'm sure it is, and hopefully I don't get in trouble for it. But just bad. Yeah, we're just jamming in the meantime, guys. And that's the agenda again. You guys are interested in checking out our agenda. This is what we're going to be talking about today. It's not the biggest agenda in the world, but like I said, I want to do a show. It's been a while since we've done one. And there's some good stuff on here that I wanted to discuss with my friends. So if you guys have anything else that you want me to talk about on the pod that's similar in the same vein as this stuff, just let me know. Let me know. I will show off the music in the meantime, though. But yeah, so anything else in the world of entertainment, gaming, movies, music, just go ahead and let me know. I'll add it onto the agenda and we'll talk about it. But yeah, I'm ready to get started. He said 2, for the record. I'm open to whatever, but I'm gonna close that down in the meantime. Let's see what they got in 401. Maybe we could add some topics to our. No, not that 411. What was the name of that? That entertainment news. Entertainment. I'm gonna put 411, and then I forget the name of that damn website. Oh, sweet, adult fun. No, I'm not talking about that. 401 Mania, maybe? Is that what it's called? What's the name of that? I don't know how to type, apparently. Of that, there you are. Oh, that entertainment. Bill and Ted, that's out. Not high on my priority list at the moment, but you'll see. We got some wrestling related stuff. Let's talk about news. New Mutants is finally out. Don't allow. Damn, we got like crazy ads on this thing. Ooh, a new Paranormal 2? Paranormal Reboot. I'm gonna put that on there. Normal Reboot. Do I not know how to I don't know how to spell it, guys. I'm sorry. I am sorry. Okay? It's really not excusable because I type a lot at work. It's really not an excuse. I'm not going to lie. Cool. Give me 1 second. All right. New eras. That'd be great. That'd be good. Looks my co-host logged on, so give him a second. I'm sure he'll be in the court any minute now. Let me read this article real quick while we wait. Let's largely focus on the rebellion. What up, bud?
Sorry for my tardiness. I was picking up some cash. Somebody who owed me.
Somebody who owed you money?
Yeah.
Good. You're on stream, by the way.
Oh, awesome. Are we live at the moment then?
Yeah, on stream. Not for the pod, obviously.
We'll be pull up the agenda and I'm ready to rock and roll.
Is Greg joining us today?
No, Greg will not be joining us. He is grading and doing homework because he assumed my former position.
Oh, nice. Very cool.
Yeah. So congratulations to him.
Absolutely. That's fine. But yeah, go ahead and get that pulled up, and then I'll have Crackbot join in a second. Oh, yeah. Cool. Let's get that.
Now recording.
Yeah, Crackbot is in. Excellent. Hold on. Before we get started, Let me make sure they can hear you on stream, and then we'll go ahead and get this crack-a-lackin'.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. 161 today. Oh, boy. Are you ready?
Always.
Oh, wait, hang on.
All right, that sounds good. Craig Bot's recording. Gabe is coming back in a second.
Oh, no. The joke was that, like, we switched roles because I was like, I asked if you were ready, and you're like, oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Do that thing. Do that thing.
What thing? What are you talking about?
What's going on, guys?
Whoa, no. I was just gonna, you never know. Hold on. I got to make sure everything's good because every time we do live, I fuck this up. So I just want to make sure for once that everything's all right. All right, Gabe.
All right.
Are you ready?
Yes.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Second City Kids podcast, episode number 161.
161.
We are back on a absolutely gorgeous day on the south side of Chicago, Illinois. I am your host, Jacob, and of course, I have my co-host extraordinaire. That's your cue.
It's me. What up, guys? I've been on this podcast for like 156 episodes, so y'all probably used to my voice now.
I mean, you would think so, but you never know. The world is a strange place. But yeah, man, it's been 3 weeks since we've done a show.
Yeah, is that right?
I just wanted to get something out there because we do have some stuff to talk about and stuff that I wanted to still be relevant when the next the next podcast came up. So that's what's going on right now. But yeah, we are back. Like I said, it's been a couple of weeks. How are you feeling? How's everything going on, buddy?
Good, man. We doing all right. Like I said, it's an absolutely gorgeous fucking day out. So
nice.
We were driving around with the top down. Things of that nature. Took up photography recently, so that's that. The man with too many hobbies and not enough time.
I feel, bro. So I was kicking around on, I think it was your Twitter. Was it your Twitter? And you had some killer red pants.
Oh, dude. People love or hate those pants. You know that? It's like drawn a lot of controversy.
Really?
Yeah. So they're okay. So for everybody listening in, I bought these. They're essentially dress pants, but there's like a rose print on them, and they're in this like red color, right? And I saw them. I was like, I have to have these. Like, this is like totally like my style, right?
Yep.
Bought them, came in, and we were going out Friday for somebody's birthday. Threw them on. I wore that granddad shirt, right?
Yeah.
And like people were like, oh my God, this is so gaudy. And then on the other end of the spectrum, they're like, oh my God, I fucking love it. And I'm like, man, these are some controversial ass pants, huh?
So like the people who don't like them, what's the beef?
They're just like, they're either like, oh, they're too tight on you, which is like, if you know me, I wear tight fucking pants. It's like nothing new, per se. And then the other thing is like, dude, like they're just so loud.
I mean, like, I don't think they were that bad. They could have. I've definitely seen worse. They could have been like mustard colored.
You've seen me wear more questionable things.
I have.
If we're being honest here.
One time, Gabe came onto the podcast with a flannel shirt and a Slipknot bandana over his head, looking like a vato.
Oh yeah, and I had a T-shirt, and then the flannel was only buttoned at the top.
Yes, yeah.
So I had the aviators on. I
correct.
Was like, hey, Holmes, you ready to record?
I've definitely seen Gabe in more suspect attire than those pants. But my wife was like, what?
I was channeling.
My wife was like, "What is wrong with your friend?" I'm like, I didn't think they were that bad. I don't know." But that.
So your wife commented on my pants.
Yeah, she's like, "Did you see what Gabe was wearing?" I'm like, "No," and she showed me. I'm like, "I don't think it's that big of a deal." And she's like, oh my God, they're so bad. I'm like, okay, whatever.
You see, it draws controversy.
I didn't think it was that bad, Gabe. I'm on your side on this one. All right.
Thank you.
But yeah,
I just thought it was hilarious. So many people were like, dude.
Yeah, for sure. Hopefully, maybe I'll make that the cover episode. The picture of the cover for the episode.
Pants.
Yeah, just you and your pants. We'll see.
Or replace the red in the logo with like the pants texture.
I might have to do that. I'm gonna have to find somebody to do that. But yeah, so
send it over to me. I can knock that out for you.
Oh, do it. Okay, cool. So that's what we're gonna do. But yeah, I'm glad that you're having a grand old time. For me, same old stuff. Working. Adriana's got a budding business that she started up, and it's going pretty well. She's doing baked goods, and oh, that would have been an excellent name. I don't anyways. But yeah, she's doing baked goods and stuff, custom made orders, a lot of fruit related, like pastries, and it's going pretty well. She made a coffee cake for my sister today. So, other than that, managing that, making sure she's not spending too much money on that. That's what I've been doing, So
yeah, her stuff looks absolutely gorgeous. I see it on Snapchat all the time, and I get hungry.
Yeah, it's very, very good. And outside of streaming from time to time, which I've been trying to do a little bit more of, rearranging my office. I don't know if I did told you about that. Me and the baby switched rooms, so the baby got the bigger room now. I finagled that desk out of the office, and it's in the garage, and I got a new one. So
you absolute behemoth.
Yeah, I do, because dude, like honestly, that desk kept me up late at night for like probably a month and a half, because we determined a while ago that we were gonna move offices and switch with the baby, and I'm like, man, this fucking desk is gonna be
a bitch.
I'm like, am I gonna have to cut it in half? Like, I didn't want to do that. It was something my grandpa worked on. I didn't want to have to cut it in half. But if that's what's gonna have to be done, it was gonna have to be done. And I bought the new desk because I'm like, hey, I don't think the new desk is gonna fit in the office, and even if I get it out of the current room, I don't think it's gonna fit in the new room. Turns out,
finagle it.
Yeah, turns out actually, I think I could have gotten into the new office pretty easily, but. We got the new desk already, so I'm like, you know what? Let's just get it out of the house, and next time when we're ready to move, it'll be a hell of a lot easier just to get the desk straight out the house, So yeah, we did that. Everything's moved out, got a new desk. Everything is set up the way I kind of like it, So everything's looking the way I want to. So pretty happy with that overall. But we have some topics to talk about that I wanted to get to.
Yeah. So let's open up with with kind of the most recent piece of news.
Yeah.
Very sad information that came through earlier. Actually, in the past 48 hours.
48
Chadwick
hours.
Boseman is dead, unfortunately.
Yes.
The man, the myth, the legend has passed away from stage 4 stomach cancer. Was it?
Colon cancer. Yeah.
Colon cancer. Man, this it really came out of fucking left field, dude. I don't even know. Like, when you texted me that, I didn't want to believe it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got the word, I think late Friday night, I think it was. My wife told me, she's like, Chadwick Boseman's dead, the guy who plays Black Panther. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. There's no way, because the last time we saw him on screen, he was fucking T'Challa, So, and then I guess recently there had been pictures of him, really skinny, and people have thought maybe it was for a role. It's not uncommon for actors to lose a lot of weight for a role and stuff like that. Turns out that, like you said, that he did have stage 4 colon cancer and was filming all of those Marvel movies sick, very sick. And it's just kind of proven that he's just a warrior in every sense of the word, from top to bottom. I literally cannot think of anybody better to play the roles that he's played. He's played Jackie Robinson. He was Jackie Robinson. He died on Jackie Robinson Day, so that's kind of a weird turn of events. He played James Brown, obviously T'Challa. If they're gonna, so it's just plenty of roles that he's played, iconic people, real life people, and yeah, he will be terribly missed. I was stunned by this news, and it kind of came out of left field, like you said. So yeah, man, rest in peace to the king of Wakanda. And I wonder,
rest in power, man.
Absolutely. And I'm genuinely curious on what they're gonna do with the Black Panther moving forward in the Marvel films. So do you have any idea what they can do? What would you do in their situation?
Probably make the Black Panther a title that it's passed down, and then have a new person take up the King of Wakanda, essentially. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
If that's something they want to continue and keep cranking out more Black Panther films, then find somebody else who fits the role.
Yeah.
And kind of run with it and do a little tribute as they did to Stan Lee in the past couple of films, and kind of move forward with their keeping everybody's grace intact. There we go.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was pretty wild, and I guess maybe we'll kick around in the coming weeks. Something we're not going to do right now because out of respect for the man, I don't want to think about who's going to replace him already, you know. But yeah, maybe in the next couple of weeks we can kick around maybe candidates to take up the mantle, so to speak. All right, so that'll be coming down the pipeline. But with that being said, we got some trailers to talk about.
Yeah, so the first one up, Death on the Nile. Holy shit!
Did you see this trailer?
Yeah, it's really good actually.
Yeah.
I almost forgot how bad the ending was for the previous one.
So yeah, the trailer is just absolutely phenomenal. It looks absolutely gorgeous, and Gal Gadot is going to be playing a lead role in it, and bringing back the same guy who played the detective prior, and a bunch of basically a who's who as far as the ensemble cast. You know, a lot of big names in there, and the only thing that's got me kind of scared is because the first one looked like that too. You know, so
Yeah.
I am slightly apprehensive of this film just due to the fact that it was the same situation with the first movie, the Murder on the Orient Express. So I just wanted to see what our opinions are of the situation, you know. And
okay, well, I still kind of stand by my point that the first one wasn't necessarily a bad movie. It was the ending that really kind of tarnished the entire build-up. But my concern is that we have all this hype around this, and if you haven't seen the poster itself is absolutely gorgeous as well.
We're looking at it now on stream.
But you had Knives Out last year, and now I'm kind of concerned that are you gonna do a better whodunit than Knives Out, because that was a fucking film.
And that was also kind of the same kind of vein as ensemble cast. You know what I mean? Like kind of a who's who.
Lots of big names. Yeah, absolutely. And so it's one of those things now where you fucked up the first time and somebody else came in and filled that space and then did it leagues better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now it's like with Death on the Nile, we're gonna have to have a very, very strong follow-up. This has to be like a Harry Potter situation when you do a marathon, you can skip the first two.
Well, hold on. I would not co-sign on that. But
but you know what I mean? Like, it has to have a very strong follow-up. Philosopher's Stone and Prisoner of Azkaban, two very different vibes, two very different leagues of film, in my opinion.
There's probably some truth to that, but I wouldn't say skip them. I'd just say expect a gigantic tonal shift from one to the other. I wouldn't say leagues better, Gabe. Gabe's dropping fucking controversial topics today. First the pants, and now this.
Yeah, now dropping controversial pants this week.
Absolutely. Hey man, maybe that's gonna be the name of the episode, controversial pants. But yeah, so it looked very good though. They spared no expense on shooting this thing, obviously. And I guess we'll have to wait and see what the play is moving forward. Adriana says she wants to see it. I'd imagine that we'd go see it now that movie theaters are opening back up slowly. And it's scheduled to drop on October 23rd, 2020. So that should be quite exciting stuff. So Death on the Nile, looking forward to it. Next. So I dropped a YouTube reaction to this thing, kind of talking about it, but I didn't want to get too in depth on the YouTube channel due to I wanted to talk about it here. So the trailer for the Batman dropped. The DC fandom event happened, and they dropped a whole bunch of stuff, a whole bunch of information, and we'll talk about the rest of them going throughout. But so the Batman trailer dropped with Robert Pattinson being Bruce Wayne / the Batman. Have you seen this?
Yeah. Let's talk about Pattinson for a second, because I love the skinny man approach to Bruce Wayne, because Ben Affleck was built like a motherfucker for it, and I just kind of like the general direction this whole thing is going towards.
So the trailer opened up with the Riddler, right, committing some sort of atrocious, violent murder, and him leaving his riddles behind. So I like the fact that they took from what it looks like, a serial killer kind of approach to the Riddler. He's not just kind of this campy, leaving silly riddles behind for Batman to solve. He's committing very violent murders, and he looks like a fucking psycho. He looks like something the Zodiac Killer would do, and leaving these riddles behind for Batman to figure out what's going on. And obviously there's this theming of deception and lies and the Riddler seems to know something that everybody else doesn't. So overall, and I mentioned this in the video, I am tremendously hyped for this film. You and I both talked about when Pattinson was first announced to be the Bats. I would admit that I was more apprehensive probably than you were. You said give him a shot, and from the footage I have seen, he looks phenomenal. You know?
Yep, absolutely. Pattinson's really kind of coming into his own as an actor. Him and Daniel Radcliffe had the same kind of trajectory where they both were in these like teen movies growing up, and like that's kind of like their most memorable role. But Pattinson's kind of stepping up to the plate and doing like these big films, and Daniel Radcliffe is doing like the fun indie ones that are like wild and wacky. So it's nice seeing their trajectories now. Absolutely.
Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman. How do you feel about that?
I don't mind. I kind of want to see a little bit more action in regards to that before I make an assessment.
Okay. Yeah, man. So just the tonal choice that they made, like they made Gotham kind of gritty again. It has somewhat of a Tim Burton feel to it. Not so much that it's like cartoonish, but more so that it's like dark. Everything looks dark. You know, I love the Nolan Batman films, but everything was like, it was very urban, you know what I mean? And not so much dark. They try to do that with Begins, where it's kind of went down that path. But after that, you know, they like, oh, the narrows are gone. And they kind of focused on the big architecture of cities and stuff like that. This one's kind of taking a more classic kind of, I almost look at it as kind of like an animated series vibe to how the city looks, you know? So
yeah, big skyscrapers and things of that nature.
Yeah. Very dark corners and stuff like that. But I said on the video, man, I was sold when he started to beat the shit out of that thug. I was sold. Once he started like, you know, he just fucking started wailing on this guy. I'm like, okay, that's what I need in my life. I need a Bruce Wayne that can do that and convince me. And he convinced me, man. I'm excited for this. It is expected to drop next year on October 1st, 2021. And I am just jazzed about it. Just fucking oodles of excitement for this. So please give the trailer a chance. Give Robert Pattinson a chance. And I don't think he's going to disappoint us. I really don't. And it's so scary because I am so terrified when they pick a new actor to play Bats, just because I don't want them to fuck it up, just because we have Val Kilmer and fucking George Clooney in the rankings. Hey
man, it's the same story with the Joker legacy. Every time a new actor's announced, everybody's like, oh, well, he'll never be as good as X. Same thing with Heath Ledger, man. Well, we had this conversation.
Yes and no, because at least I think it's fair to say that in all the iterations that we've had of the Joker so far on film, there hasn't been a bad one really, other than Jared Leto. But there really hasn't been a bad one. You know, Heath Ledger did really well. Joaquin Phoenix did really well. Jack Nicholson did really well. For Bats, we have bad Batman actors before, so it is a little scary to take that jump. But I'm sold. I'm glad that we got to see Batman with in eye black. Like, that's something we should have seen a lot, like Bruce Wayne with the eye black, because every time in these films when Batman takes off his cowl, there's no eye black, even though he's clear as day eye black when he's patrolling the city. I don't know. It's just one of those little things that
drive me nuts. Bruce Wayne should look like he just came back from an MCR concert after he takes off the cowl.
Exactly. But yeah.
All right.
Very excited. So this one's
moving on.
Yeah.
So the Texas Chainsaw Massacre sequel, they were gonna pull a Halloween and just be like, oh yeah, all the weird in between ones don't matter. This is the actual sequel.
Okay.
Are facing some sort of issues. So we're about a week into filming, and the director pretty much said, nah, fuck it, I'm not doing this.
What?
Yeah, he said, I'm not doing this. And so now they're just kind of in limbo. I don't know if they have a backup director on plan, but he said, I'm not doing this. And I we didn't read into it too much in regards to the whys or the hows, but he said, nope, no mas, and left production.
And you said you don't know the reason? The Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
No, we don't know too much detail, but he pretty much just got up and left. And I thought that was kind of amusing, kind of sad, that a week into filming, the director just goes, no, I'm not doing this.
That is strange.
Very strange. Just hand it over to McBride and
would you stop?
No, I'm playing, of course. Yeah. You know, the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre was and still is a pretty solid horror film and such. I don't know if a sequel, reboot, or anything of that nature would... I honestly don't think it would hold up as well today as it did years ago, in my opinion. I mean, it's a fun film, but like I rewatched it a couple months ago, and it's just kind of silly to an extent, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So I'm reading. Apparently, they shot about 48 hours worth, or they were working for about 48 hours, and they got some footage done. And Legendary, who is behind the film, is scrapping everything that they did. So I'm inclined to believe that there was a severe disconnect as far as creative decisions between what the directors were doing versus what Legendary wanted them to do. That's my belief on that.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Gotta love the corporate America side to making movies, right? Which are pieces of art. But that's a whole nother debate for another day. That being said, do you think Texas Chainsaw Massacre needs a sequel, reboot, or anything of that nature?
I mean, I wouldn't be against it. I think, okay, when it comes to slashers, like, especially slashers that I'm not, like, super connected to, I'm not really worried about that. You know what I mean? I think the whole fact that there's a million sequels to all of these things is just part of the charm, you know? And they've rebooted it before. They've redone this before and all that. But you said this is supposed to be like a sequel to the original, but still, you know, they rebooted this series before. And I think the 2003 Texas Chainsaw Massacre was actually pretty well done and super terrifying. So, yeah, I'm kind of for this. I'm looking for, I mean, maybe not so much with the issues. I guess we'll have to wait and see how it starts to shape up. But that is kind of wild that they have, that they full bore just said, you know what? You guys are going to have to go elsewhere with that. Did I tell you?
Yeah.
Did I review Dr. Sleep on this podcast?
I believe you did, yes.
Did I? Okay, I just wanted to make sure because I was drawing a blank. Okay, cool.
Said you fucking loved it.
I did fucking love it. But yeah, so very interesting. Very interesting. I'm for it. What do you think, Gabe? You think they should, do you feel like it's a movie that needs a sequel, or what's your opinion?
If we're being honest here, man, the only slasher sequel I want to see is Freddy vs. Jason 2. Kind of at this point, you know, excluding the whole Halloween thing because we're both really excited for that.
Yeah.
That being said, dude, there's some things you gotta let go. You know, there's some things that stay in the 70s and 80s, and I'm sure someone can pull it off. But with the way this movie is going, is it worth the time and money investment?
Not a great start.
That's the thing. That's something the studio has to decide.
Mm-hmm. Not a great start for this film. So yeah, man, that's interesting. I'm genuinely curious on how this is going to shape up moving forward. All right, next up, Dave. I'm sure we've talked about this before. So Little Dicky got his own TV show, right, on FX called Dave. I actually watched it a couple weeks ago with the woman. We went straight through it. There's like, I think 8 episodes to it. It's basically a semi-autobiographical look at his career. And it is fucking hilarious, bro. There are scenarios in this show, the series, that just fucking had me laughing, but also weird and you know, needed parts where there's like a lot of heart, you know, a lot of like kind of those slowed down Full House moments where like they're actually talking about actual feelings and stuff. And I kind of liked it, man. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. But they actually do a pretty good job of making the Little Dicky character and Dave kind of a symbiotic kind of a thing. So it is quite funny. I think you would enjoy it. And they actually do, like I said, a pretty good job talking about a relationship because he has a girlfriend in the series. And as he's going throughout the series, he has to make some difficult choices between his relationship and his career. And like I said, semi-autobiographical. It is based on kind of what he went through and what he experienced. So I'm a fan of Little Dicky. We've talked about that in the past. And I think everybody who's a fan, or even if you're not a fan, you should give this show an opportunity because it is quite funny. So check that out. I think it's on Hulu, the whole series. So definitely check it out.
Awesome. Paranormal Activity, the reboot.
Yes.
It might be the thought of a reboot might be more terrifying than the concept of the first one.
So, yeah, Paranormal Activity might get a reboot. Now, I know there are like dark corners of the internet or legions of fans that really love the lore to the Paranormal Activity films, but I'm a big fan of the first one. I like the first one a lot. But my question is that are they going to try to recapture kind of that crazy magic that they had with the first one, like kind of keep it simple, or are they going to go full bore and lean into kind of the lore that the other movies established? You know what I mean? Like, because at the end of the day, the first film was just a budget film, simple concept that a guy did in his house, you know, in like a 2-week time period, and it was good in that way. But then, typical to horror as a genre, they kind of go overboard with it and add too much lore to it, and then it gets really confusing and really contradicts itself as it continues to go. As it continues to grow, it gets further away from the concept. So, I mean, I guess we'll see. It's really dependent on the spirit of this. How do you feel about Paranormals? Have we talked about that with you?
I've seen the first one. I thought it was okay, but it's again, man, when those like found footage booms come around, the wave of spin-offs and copycats is incredulous, honestly. Look at the Blair Witch Project, the one that kind of mainlined the whole found footage thing.
Correct.
How many Blair Witch spin-offs that weren't Blair Witch? Because I know there was like 2 or 3 sequels to that film itself, right?
Yep.
It's just whenever there's a big boom like this, people hop on the bandwagon. It's really kind of hard for me to separate the crap from gold sometimes. And I did like the first Paranormal Activity. I didn't see any of the other ones, but my buddies tell me like, yeah, Marked Ones is really good, and it like ties back around into the first film, blah blah blah. Like, man, that's cool and all, but like, for lack of better terms, man, it's almost kind of a gimmick. You were like, you are losing yourself in the fiction that this is indeed found footage and not a film.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And you know, some films do a really good job at that, and other films just don't. And I just don't know how I feel about the genre as a whole. Maybe we should let it sleep for a little bit and then welcome its return in like 2030.
Gabe's just trying to fucking put a genre to sleep for 10 years.
No, I mean, that there is a lot to be said about found footage, like the Cloverfields, the Blair Witches, the Haunting of Deborah Logan's, whatever you want to, you know, whichever angle you want to take. It's just a matter of Paranormal Activity is now in this weird cyclical nature that we found Halloween, that we found Texas Chainsaw Massacre in, and it's like, where do you draw the line? Where do you stop? There's so many different ideas going on, blah, blah, blah. And granted, Paranormal has been more tightly knit with all of this, you know, as opposed to like the 80s slashers. But it's just one of those things, man, where like people need to sit down and be like, okay, are we doing this for the money? Yes. Okay, let's make another one.
Yeah, this is true. Well, like, I think the difference between, because there's definitely some comparisons to be made between, like you said, the found footage boom as well with, you know, the slasher boom of the 80s and stuff like that. But I think with the found footage boom, I think as opposed to slashers in the 80s where they just felt the need to just up the bounty count and up the gore factor or like the ridiculousness of the kills, I think that the found footage genre went like, well, let's just invest into our story, and then they got really lost in that way. You know what I mean? And I think that's kind of the funny disconnect between those two. But yeah, they do line up pretty evenly as far as kind of just being the hot thing that everybody wanted to do that made $1 bazillion off the bat, and then you know, just kind of faded up to obscurity after the fact. But just like the slasher thing, this found footage thing seems to be emerging a little bit again. So I guess we have to wait and see.
This is our generation's version of that.
Correct. Yeah, you're probably right about that. It's kind of interesting.
It's one of those things, man. And I've had this conversation with Greg where once people realize that there's so we're planning an episode for exploration in regards to an entire genre of music, and my general sum up of my thoughts and feelings is that initially there's creative people, there's passionate people, there's people that are doing this because they love this, and people latch on and then they eventually make money. But the problem is when the leeches come around and they see that you can make money off this and aren't in it for the project or the work itself, and that's when everything becomes diluted. And I think this is exactly what's happening in this aspect. And you know what, I may be totally wrong. This may be a phenomenal film. This may be the second best Paranormal Activity we get, but it's a matter of time. But at the moment, it's just one of those things where it's like, who is behind the helm? Do you have somebody who's like, I love these movies, I know everything inside and out, I watch the director's cut, I watch commentaries? Or do you have bigwig corporate type people behind it going like, yeah, fuck it, give them a camera?
Yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see on that. I don't imagine this will be coming out anytime soon. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. When did the first Paranormal come out? Was that to like 2007? Does that sound about right to you? Paranormal Activity came out in 2007.
Nice. You're pretty good with these like movie years, you know that?
Yeah, because I connect them to like years in high school. that's my.
You know, that makes all the sense.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, I saw that freshman year. What was that? 2007. Okay, cool. You know what I mean? So, cool, excellent. So that is movies, TVs, and books. Pretty good if I say so myself. So next up, we got some gaming stuff. Gabe, I believe the first one's you.
Yes. So Halo Infinite was delayed till next year and they said, we want more time to work on this game. We don't want to deliver a half-assed product. So I'm kind of excited for Halo Infinite. I know the series has been kind of flippity-floppity with the masses recently. That being said, I think I kind of have an issue with their presentation of this. Now, I don't actually know if the game is done or not. So, take this with a grain of salt. I think they're delaying it because the whole pandemic thing, bro. I feel like, especially like artists and musicians are sort of delaying their releases to when things eventually start to normalize. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think what Microsoft and 343 Industries are doing at the moment is that they're waiting for the Xbox One or the Series X. There we go. The Xbox Series X to kind of come out, get some footing, and then they're going to drop it.
Yeah, I could see that.
Because you think that a franchise like Halo would be a drop title, like a launch title, right?
Yeah.
So, and like I said, I really don't know. Maybe they're just not done with the game, and maybe it's just one of those things. Like, there's rumors circulating the internet that like they're gonna drop multiplayer first, and the story will come at a later date, like some franchises have been doing. And that, like I said, take all this with a grain of salt. All we know is that it's delayed, and the reason they stated was that they want more time to deliver a better finished product. If they need to put that clear coat and that sparkle on it, totally respect it. But I don't know if I believe that 100%.
Yeah, that's a little funny. So it was supposed to drop this year, you said?
Yeah, when was it supposed to drop?
Let me look. Okay, hold on. Halo Infinite.
So it was supposed to drop December 2020.
Oh, okay, so I mean, I think it's very much possible. I think once
it's delayed until next year, so 2021, and it was supposed to be a launch title. So I was right.
Okay, so I'd imagine that with like you said, with the pandemic and whatnot, that this is like during this phase of time was when the game was going to get into like crunch time, because we've read articles about crunch time when it comes to the gaming industry, right? How they have to hit their mark, and with the pandemic, it's like, well, everybody go home. How are you supposed to hit that mark when everybody's forced to go home? So I could see that being a problem, being the reason why it got delayed, for sure. I could for sure see that. So you might be right. I mean, like you said, there's really no way of knowing. I'm sure after the game gets dropped, I'm sure we'll probably have articles about it, because that's usually how that happens. But yeah, I could probably see that happening. So you talked about like kind of the ups and downs of the Halo community. Now I'm an outsider when it comes to the whole Halo thing, because I've never owned an Xbox. So when is the official line in the sand when it comes to Halo fans? Like, because from what I understand, obviously the first Halo was like universally loved. Was it the second one, the third one? When did the games or the community start to get split on public opinion on the matter?
Well, I think everybody has a favorite Halo game, but I think the community started to get divided around the Halo 4 mark. And the Halo community is very like cyclical in nature. So when the new Halo comes out, everybody's like, oh, well, the previous one doesn't that bad. And then the 2 prior, they're like, oh, that one was phenomenal. It was the best one. Yeah. And then it kind of cycles through. And then actually, I rescind my comment. It's when Halo Reach came out that people were starting to get divided on these things. And it's just one of those things where you play the new one and you like initially hate it because it's not like the old one. They made some weird changes that you're not used to. And then you get used to it, and then the new one comes out and you're like, the previous one wasn't that bad. And then now you find yourself playing the Halo from 2 gens ago talking about, yeah, this one's the best one. It's just one of those things, man, where it's like the changes, especially with 343 at the helm, they've sort of made a lot of interesting changes, and they've streamlined the multiplayer combat. Halo was a very unique feel, and they've sort of added like the sprint in, which wasn't in Halo 3. You know what I mean? And they've made changes to make multiplayer faster and stuff like that. They're trying to make it like competitively viable against all the other big shooters, and it is what it is.
Interesting. All right, so I'm sure we'll get more information on that as it gets closer to release, but Halo Infinite, unfortunately, delayed. Next up, Gotham Knights. So, this is something that I am just fucking
livid for.
Livid? That's not the word I'm looking for. I am just jazzed about it, dude. Like, I'm excited as fuck is the word. So, Gotham Knights is the next Batman game. Who is this? Is that Ubisoft Montreal behind that, I believe? Ubisoft. Warner Brothers Montreal is behind this. So not Rocksteady and not associated to the Arkham games at all. But basically, the premise is it is a Batman game without Batman. All right. Apparently, Bruce Wayne's death has occurred, and he sent a message to his family, the Bat family, and lets him know that, hey, I'm dead, and you guys need to fucking handle it. You know what I mean? Basically, right? And it features Red Wing, Batgirl, Robin, and Red Hood, and all of which who have their unique play styles and abilities. And I think we mentioned before that there was a game coming out, a Batman game. We didn't know much about it, but it was rumored that it was going to be about the Court of Owls, right? We mentioned that. And this is it. This is that project that we reported on before, and it's here. They dropped a trailer. Have you seen it?
Yes, it looks really good, and I love the take on this. I love the whole idea behind it.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know, because as from what I understand, we don't know a whole lot about how exactly the execution is going to play out. Like, is this going to be a multiplayer game where you could have 4 people on the map together and have them kind of do their own missions and do own thing? Or is this something where as the game goes on, you'll be switching in between the characters is the question. So I'm not sure exactly yet. I'm sure once more footage comes out, we'll be able to figure that out. But just visually, it is stunning. It is a stunning, beautiful game, you know. And I am quite proud of how great this looks, you know. And like I said, a lot of things going on. Apparently, Jim Gordon is dead too. And yeah, it's up to this next generation of Bat fam to handle the troubles in Gotham. So we haven't.
Took us about 100 years, but we can finally start taking creative liberties with how we pursue the bats, and I love it.
Yep. And just one of those things that really blew me away over the DC fandom situation is just it just looks ridiculous, you know. And just yeah, man, I'm just excited about it. So it is Tim Drake, Robin. That's something that I was curious about. All right, so yeah, apparently it's dropping next year as well, 2021. I'm definitely gonna get it on the next gen for sure because it just looks too good. You can't not. And they showed us a little bit of footage, and it kind of had I don't want to say an RPG kind of feel to it, but maybe it did. Where it kind of had like when you do damage to people, it had like numbers pop up over their head. So I thought that was kind of interesting. And like I said, it looks like it's not Arkham, which is going to be a nice change of pace. The Arkham games were excellent. The combat was really fluid and kind of freeform, but it looks like this is kind of a different take, and just excited. Warner Brothers Montreal looks really good, and I'm sure we will have a review when it's go time. When, like I said, we will definitely follow up on the footage as it moves forward. So yeah, man, excellent stuff. Let's keep moving. So Ghost of Tsushima is, I guess they're dropping co-op. Right, where you and a buddy will be able to hop into the open world of the Ghost of Tsushima and fuck some people up, fuck up some Mongols, and I'm excited about it. I'm still playing the game, haven't finished it yet. I just honestly, dude, I've been getting lost in the side missions and stuff. The game is beautiful, man, and the way they present the side missions feels of the same quality in a lot of ways of like the main story stuff. So especially when it comes to a lot of artwork and all that. So it should be fun. If you're a PlayStation person, I would recommend getting Ghost of Tsushima and playing it and having a good old time. But yeah, that's coming too. Next, let's get into it.
So the Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War trailer dropped. It looked really good. It's going to be 500 hours of you like loading your gun but not actually shooting. No, I'm kidding. So the game looks good. Let's talk about the game before we get into the controversies first. I think that with the Modern Warfare Legacy, the new one is so massive. How are you going to push a new Call of Duty on us? You know what I mean? Like you're going to have your people that buy the yearly COD every year, et cetera, et cetera.
Yep.
But dude, this one has some crazy staying power. And with the sheer amounts of love and content updates it's getting, I feel like you're going to have a hard time getting a lot of these Modern Warfare players to hop over to Cold War.
Yeah, I can see that kind of being a problem. Yeah, I can see that being a problem. But the thing is about this, I think Call of Duty has kind of taken a weird turn in the last couple of years where they were not very story-centric at all. And obviously with the new Modern Warfare that dropped last year, it became very story-centric. Like they had a lot of well-thought-out moments in the story and a lot of very interesting, intriguing kind of ways they took the story and made it kind of cool. Made it cool to like the Call of Duty campaign again, right? And then Black Ops, and you and I mentioned it before, being one of the most centralized when it comes to the story, how it was very important to the package, and the previous game not having it, you definitely missed it. And this, it just looks really good. It just looks like they took their time with it, even though they were rushed, because they dropped the developer in the process. It just looks really good. It looks well thought out, and apparently a lot of this stuff is based on real life situations, and that's exciting, because it's almost like a history lesson in some way. Now, obviously, they're going to blow up some moments and stuff like that and make it a lot cooler than it actually was, especially when it comes to the Cold War, because there's only so much you can talk about. But yeah, they took some moments and it looks really, really cool. I wanted to talk about how they revealed this thing real quick. So I've never seen such active cross promotion between developers or between studios, between Infinity Ward and Treyarch before. But in Warzone, they had a whole event that went down for the reveal trailer. Basically, you hopped in a Warzone map, and they had like a little objective for you to complete to unlock like a blueprint. It's called the Bay of Pigs. It was like a sniper rifle, and they had woods in the game, like physically in the in the Warzone map. And after you completed that, there was like a timer. Once the timer was complete, you were able to run to the center of the map, and then they dropped the trailer on your head. So I thought that was really cool. Especially when it comes to like the map changes that they made to it. Like they blacked out all the names of the sections of the map and all that, and really made it kind of fit that Black Ops aesthetic, which was kind of a unique thing. I have never seen that level of participation between those two before. So that was pretty cool and unique, and I'm pretty excited about it. But I do agree with you. There will be some people who will not immediately make the jump, I think, to Black Ops Cold War. Now, with that being said, I think a large portion of that is due to Warzone. I don't know, because they haven't announced it, obviously, if they're going to have their version of that in the new Call of Duty. I've heard rumors that maybe perhaps Warzone is just going to be something that's going to be handed over to the next guy, and they just keep adding content to it, because it's kind of make it kind of like its own standalone thing. I don't know. What if you were Treyarch and you knew that this game did receive a large amount of love, the previous game, what would you do to try to capitalize on that and try to convince players to jump over to the next gen or to the next game? What would you do?
I don't have a solution for you, dude. I really don't. Because this is the problem that we've encountered. I feel like Call of Duty is at an all-time high since probably Modern Warfare 2.
Mm-hmm.
And how do you get people to jump? How do you get people to bite? And that's the question, because Warzone is free.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, do you have the new developer add on to that? That's not necessarily a bad idea, but then what's going to make you want to get the full game? You know what I mean? If you're just strictly playing Warzone.
Yeah, this is true.
And it's one of those things where it's like, well, now if you're adding in like if somebody purchased something in Warzone, right? Like now, where do those funds go? Does that go towards Sledgehammer? Does that go towards Ravenloft? Like which developer does that go towards?
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
And it's a big kind of question mark where we have this big hulking titan, and how do we proceed it?
Yeah, for sure, because this is the first time in COD history where the game is now is a higher point than it was when the game came out, as far as hype. Oh,
absolutely.
Because you've been there. The new Call of Duty comes out, everybody loves it. It's the most hyped thing in the world. Everybody says it's great, and then as time goes on, public opinion starts to change, and people slowly but surely start to fall off and just wait for the next one. Now I'm a Treyarch fan, but I was just starting to get comfortable with my spots in the new Call of Duty. Now, am I going to get Cold War? Absolutely, because I am a Treyarch fan and I love the Black Ops name. But for a lot of people, like you said, it's going to be kind of hard to just leave Modern Warfare, because they're in the middle of a new season right now. The game drops in November, so that's 3 months from now, or 2 months from now, because we're at the end of August. What's next? It's going to be kind of hard to tell. Are we going to have Blackout 2? Because the first Black Ops, or the Black Ops 4, had their version of a battle royale. I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see. But it's definitely
Activision's got some card sorting to do.
Absolutely, because
for sure.
It's definitely a spot they haven't been in before. Because usually they'd be able to hype up, oh man, the new game. Thanks for playing the old one, but the new one's going to be this one, that, and with the way they kind of introduce content to Modern Warfare, it's kind of hard to just let that go, especially if they're planning on not doing the exact same with Black Ops Cold War. So. But with that being said, man, visually the game is fucking stunning. They said the footage was recorded using PlayStation 5. It just looks just fucking ridiculous. Oh my god. So yeah, definitely going to be interesting with that. You said now who you added?
And
yeah, go ahead.
So the trailer was banned in China because it showed footage of Tiananmen Square. That's kind of it.
Really?
Yeah, no, it's banned in China. At least the trailer. I don't know if they're going to ban the full game or if they're going to have to make a Chinese version. But yep, it showed footage of Tiananmen Square and the whole suppression thing going on over there. So, yikes.
Yeah, big yikes. Excellent. Okay, not excellent, but interesting. All right, Siege. So the game that continues to grow and just continues to get better, kind of in the same vein as that Modern Warfare we were just talking about. Rainbow Six Siege, man. They have introduced some very unique changes to Siege this season, like game-altering changes. Outside of the fact they released a new operator. The operator's name is Zero. You may know him as Sam Fisher of Splinter Cell. And first off, he looks fucking badass. His gadget's amazing. And
I love the age they put on him.
Yeah. And he's like, these fucking kids need to get off my lawn. Basically, that's what he looks like to me. Shit, because he's like the original, right? I guess in some kind of weird way. So they had that action, but they've made some severe changes to the gameplay in a very interesting way. So, number one, reinforcements. Reinforcements aren't the way they used to be, because it used to be every op would get 2, right? And you were expected to, put it on the map, and everybody was expected to use their reinforcements, all that, right? Now, it's in a pool. It's a pool system, right? So the team gets 10 total. And one person could put down all 10 if they wanted to. You know what I mean? And that's unique. That's something that actually I think it's a wonderful idea, because
I think it'll make roaming and anchoring a lot easier.
Yeah, absolutely. Because like I said, you could kind of, instead of having just your teammate run off and kind of not drop their gadgets or not drop their reinforcements, you could do it for them, and you could kind of strategize that way. It becomes part of your strategy, making sure people reinforce and all that, and having the pull. I think it's kind of a unique change. Also, another big change is that some operators will come with a hard breach, like a gadget that they can hard breach reinforced walls. Now, so that's unique. It kind of changes the dynamic. It's not a situation where you kill a thermite and you kill the thermite and the fucking Habana, and suddenly there's no way to get into your site. There are multiple people who can get in, and also kind of a unique change of pace. Why do you think they made these changes like that, Gabe?
I really don't know. It feels like a hard nerf towards the hard breachers, if I'm being honest with you. I'm kind of a little bit upset with the way they approach that. I guess it really depends on how big these holes are going to be that the gadgets make.
They are climbable, like you can climb through them, but it's not the same size as like a thermite. It's like half the size, but you can climb through it. It's foldable.
Yeah, I still kind of on the fence. We got to see how it plays, because Ubisoft's pretty good at when they make changes and it's god awful, they'll fix it.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it plays. I don't like the idea, but I kind of understand the utility behind it. Mm-hmm. It's just one of those things we got to play by ear.
Do you think it'll increase the speed of the game?
Oh, I think it'll make those last-minute clutches a lot more butt-clenching, that's for sure.
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, man. This is a game that continues to evolve and get better. They made changes to Chalet. Interesting changes just overall, man. I need to hop back on. It's been a while since I've played Siege, and I really want to get back into it. So maybe that's something that I'll have to stream down the road, because now it's almost like a completely different game from when the last time I played it, which is maybe about 6 months ago. So very unique. And again, Siege, you and I have spoke wonderful things about it in the past, just continuing to be the game that evolves, and that's why it continues to stay relevant. So, excellent.
We're at Ubisoft's supposed half-life mark at the moment with Rainbow Six Siege.
Yeah, and I think
it's been about 5 years.
I think you mentioned that it's on the docket for the 5. So I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see if they can make that that leap and do what Destiny couldn't. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Crazy. I can't believe the game is still relevant. It's insane. All right, cool. Next.
Let's get into music news and reviews. So we have 2 topics on here. One of them, Spotify released a new feature called Spotify Sessions.
Okay.
So it's pretty cool. You create a link, send it to your buddies, and up to 5 of you can be in a session.
Mm-hmm.
And you can queue up whatever you want, skip tracks, pause, play, all that good stuff. Unfortunately, with my group of friends, we can't have anything nice. So the moment we all got in a group session, somebody queued up, like 007 Soundscape, the Shrek soundtrack, Russian war music, and then continuously like paused, played, talking about stop remixing the fucking song and let it play. I did think it was a pretty cool feature though.
Well, don't you, in our group chat, don't we kind of have that already though? Kind of, sort of?
With the Discord bot, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm saying this is like for Spotify though. You know what I mean? So like one of my buddies, when he drives from work home, he'll just send a link, but he'll be like, queue up whatever you want.
Interesting. Yeah, so you said this is new. When did they drop this?
About a week or 2 ago. So it's still kind of in the beta phase. There's still some changes to be made and such. But like I said, it is pretty cool. You can queue up whatever you want, and you can kind of... it's a group-controlled music player that everybody can tune into.
It's kind of like harking back to the old days in like the 70s when you and your buddies would get together and bring like your vinyls. You know what I mean? And okay, this one's done.
Yeah, except more annoying.
Yeah. Yeah, probably. But it's because it's not our fault your friends are a group of weirdos. But yeah, man. It's kind of cool. What did my wife say? My wife said something similar about the Movies Anywhere app, how you could have a session of people watching the movie and you guys can make comments as the movie goes on. So I thought that was kind of unique. Yeah, man, this is just like with the whole quarantine and stuff like that, we found a way to digitally get together and hang out. I guess it's kind of a weird thing, more so than ever. I don't know. That's kind of cool. But yeah, so there's that. And next, this is also you.
Okay, so I put an album on here that I reviewed. This album is called "Sex, Love, and the Infinite Void" by a band called Creeper. All right, where do I begin with it? I want you to imagine if like Gerard Way and Ville Valo had like a weird little love child, right?
Okay.
And this is what you get with the front man of Creeper. This dude is crazy charismatic. You toss in some Phantom of the Opera vibes, and you have this weird goth, poppy, punky, really good vibes, big choruses band that is known as Creeper. And so this album, I was actually really shocked with how good this album is. This is, if you grew up listening to him, if you grew up listening to Yellow Card, if you grew up and you remember what Hot Topic looked like in the old days, you're going to like this, man. There's a lot of good, upbeat, like four-year strong, because that whole conversation the other day. There's a lot of good, upbeat, summery tracks on this that just make you want to cruise with your windows down, man. It's nice and fun, but the subject matters are kind of weird and creepy and serious, and I kind of dig it, bro. It's like the best of all these different like subgenres. If you're a theater kid, if you're a drama kid, this did Craig Bott leave?
Oh, did he leave? Hold on. Failed to join. If I persistently fail to join, Amy. Oh, he did leave. What the fuck?
Uh-oh. Craig Bott, no. Bring him back.
Is that what I do? So it'll be 2 pieces then, right? In theory.
Now recording.
That was weird. He's never done that before.
All right, well, that works, I guess.
Yep.
But this album is for your theater kids. This album is for your band kids. This album is for everybody that wasn't popular in high school, man. I love it. I love it to shreds, and I'm it's like a very delightful 9. You know that?
Oh, okay. Even though
this is a really good album.
Even though that's not how we grade things around here, Gabe.
Oh right. So I'll give it like an A minus, man. It's properly fun. I think you'd get a good kick out of it. There's a lot of good like songwriting in it. The instrumentality is really nice, and the production's simple and clean. Nothing over the top crazy going on. And then what I really like was that they interjected these like narrative vocal pieces throughout the album. So like there's like an opening, right? And it's like it sounds like they're reading a poem, and it's just like narrating the story that expands throughout the album. It's really wonderful. They don't overstay their welcome. They're like 20 to 35 seconds a piece, and you kind of gather more information and stuff about it as it goes on. I think it's really creative. I think it's a fucking awesome album. And dude, if you don't know Creeper, you should definitely check it out. And I know we don't usually cover a lot of like outside, the core scene stuff here, but dude, this is right up there with Death Throes for me at the moment.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, no, I was like surprised at how good this thing is.
Interesting. Yeah, man. Even the title sounds like something him would come up with. Straight up.
I'm telling you, this album is a culmination of the last 20 to 30 years of building on like the goth and emo aesthetic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there's no way Creeper would have happened without bands like MCR, without bands like him, and things of that nature. This is just a culmination. Now we've kind of hit this weird apex where being goth is socially acceptable now. Whereas 15 years ago it was like, oh, you're one of those, huh?
I got you for sure. All right,
so,
cool.
Check it out.
I'm glad you enjoyed it, man. Yeah, man. Honestly, bro, like when it comes to music, I haven't really been into anything really. I've been listening to a lot of Linkin Park recently, to be honest. I don't know why. It's just weird.
How'd you like that bonus track that they released after 20 years?
I heard that 10 years ago, so yeah,
gotcha.
It was the first time they released it in like in high definition, but I heard that a while ago. It was cool. She Couldn't, it was pretty cool, but I got the whole super duper mega edition of Hybrid Theory, the 20th anniversary of Hybrid Theory, so that's gonna be coming in October. So
did you get the record? Did you get the CD?
I got the super mega edition, so I got everything. So it should be kind of cool. Maybe I'll review that when I get it. But yeah.
Oh, you should do an unboxing on your live stream.
Oh, now you're thinking. See, Gabe's thinking of stuff, giving me quality materials. I like it. Excellent, man. So yeah, man, I guess that was the episode of the Second City Kids podcast. When it comes to posting this up, hopefully it won't be a problem. I'll be able to connect those two pieces of podcast together. It shouldn't be an issue. If not, I guess I have to figure something out. But yeah, man, that was episode 161 of the Second City Kids podcast. Thank you guys for joining us today. You guys know the deal. Twitter, Snapchat, Tumblr, all that. We are at Second City Kids. I've also been live streaming, so check that out. I plan on live streaming a little bit later today, maybe tonight. I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but we'll figure it out. But yeah, so that was the episode of the Second City Kids podcast. Thank you guys for joining me. Signing out for Jacob and Gabe. Deuces. That's so strange. I wonder what happened with Craigbot.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he bummed out.
Let me see. He says he's
broke Oxbot the other day as well.
How'd you break him?
Oh, I think they were just doing maintenance on him.
Oh,
we didn't like break him. I think they were like the developers were working on the code.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Single track, because I learned my lesson last time we did the show.
Oh man.
Yeah, because I'm like, oh shit, getting us lined up exactly the same is kind of hard sometimes, and I'm lazy.
Yeah, pain in the ass.
Yep, and I'm lazy. You can't forget.
All right, dude.
All right, buddy.
I gotta hop off. I got family over, but we'll catch up in a bit.
Sure. See ya.
Yeah, see ya.
Alrighty, stream. It looks like it's just you and me hanging out. But I think I'm going to call this quits as well for the meantime, in between time. Thank you guys for joining me today. You guys got to see the podcast live, and hopefully I'll be able to get this posted up soon enough. But until then...